All right, so if you haven't seen this Jeep right here, it's real quickly, I'll give you just a quick rundown. I'm not gonna get as specific as my other videos. I'd get more specific on them as far as when I was building those axles, but you can see the axles will walk around them soon. But 01 Cherokee, it's got 355 gears and they're not very ideal. The brakes are terrible. It's got like a factory steering setup that's not good. So lots of upgrades we're gonna be doing. Well, I've already got them done, and like I said, I've got a video on these, but 456 Richmonds, I think those are Liberty brakes, painted, all the flashy paint. Same thing up here, WJ twin pistons, I got the crossover steering, Richmond gears, diff covers, all that stuff. So yeah, that's what's going under it, and I'm probably gonna do a little refresh. I know I got a set of leaf springs right there, that one of them's broke back there, and ordered a set of shocks. Turned out I've got 4 front shocks, so I gotta get that figured out on my own. But the one other part, you won't see it much in this, or you won't see it in this video at all, is this Jeep has low oil pressure when it's running, I wouldn't say hot, when it's running operating temperature. So I got a high volume oil pump. I won't put it in there. I can almost guarantee it's not gonna fix it, but I won't proof. And I am going to figure out where the oil pressure is going. So that'll be different videos, but that'd be pretty interesting to know, because I don't think anybody's ever proven where the oil pressure is going. So I don't think there's really much else to say. I got to start tearing a bunch of stuff apart. All right, I got it on the lift. I'll give you just a quick walk around of it. These sway bar lengths are kind of iffy there. I don't think that one's tight. I can see daylight right there. But you can tell this Jeep's been used, and when I get back there, I'll show you for sure. But this is how you have to lift long arm Jeeps. I don't really care for it, but there ain't many options because that's in the way right there. So, like I said, stock steering, that's a huge pitman arm. I'm actually going to try to go back with a regular, well, probably a ZJ pitman arm instead of an aftermarket one. But you can see all the brake stuff is new, so somebody else is chasing this problem too. Probably just cheap stuff. But this leaf spring was broke. I put just a factory Jeep spring in there. I think that's why it's kind of sagged down. But well, you can see a little bulge there. But wait till you check out the other side. It's I've never done this. Yeah, y'all can see that bulge right there. I mean, it broke the paint loose, but that's a serious lick right there, because I've done some crazy stuff in Cherokee. And I've never even, they're all gonna bend that little piece where the sway bar hits it, but the actual frame, that's pretty legit. This thing's actually got a bunch of new parts, new bearings. We'll get it took apart, got some fresh parts to go back in there, and hopefully it'll be a better daily driver. I ain't gonna try to like rush this or nothing, but it's a 753. Yep. So I'll see how quick. Like a factory one, man, I can get that done quick, but I don't know about all this long arm stuff. Only bolt I took out is the track bar. Well, that was lollygagging around. It's 8:40, so whopping 40 minutes. But that's what sucks. I bet I spent 42 minutes on these stupid U-bolts. Had to applied heat, applied everything. The threads gummed up, or whatever you want to call it. So wasn't able to get the rear end out. I guess I'm gonna have to raise it up, ratchet strap it, cut it. But front end should fall right out. Nothing's cut. Whatever that noise is. Oh. Check the other side. It's good. But yeah, like even the ABS stuff, I know I'm not using that. I didn't cut none of that. E-brake, didn't cut nothing. Getting there. All right, Impact got a little more determination today. Done absolutely murdered that one. We're gonna get this done. Oh, look at that. Like this one. Yeah. It's about to fall. I think I can get it off there with a pry bar. Let me get it back on the ground so I don't fall. I don't think it'll fall. I got to think about it. I think the other leaf spring should catch it. Oh, there we go. So close. Well, I'm glad y'all got to see that. That was kind of sketchy. All right, maybe this can go a little easier. Yeah, I've had it before. All right, got everything took out of it. You can see laying on the ground. And I just show you underneath this Jeep. It's, like I said, it's never gonna be that Jeep that like wins car shows, spin mud road, whatever. But it'll still get the job done. I did rebuild this drive shaft. Everything in it's brand new, Spicer 1310X. So yeah. And that drive shaft for the front one, it had slop in the slip yoke part, so I'm gonna use it off-road rig. Went and found another one, gotta rebuild it. But where I was going with this is I'm gonna paint the springs, probably pressure wash everything else, and I'm not gonna get carried away as I usually do. Usually I buy everything brand new. I'm just gonna put the axles under it and get this thing drivable. And let me go show you why. Like, I get started on these builds and can't stop, so I'm trying to like draw a line and just do a decent one, then we'll do a better one another day. Not gonna get too technical on this one, but this is one I've painted springs to match. Everything underneath it has been repainted. Everything's brand new. Every brake calipers, paint match. I mean, you name it on the underside. If it could have been done, I did it. So, not getting carried away. That's my Comanche if you ain't seen it. Not getting carried away on this Cherokee. I just want to get it roadworthy. So, like I said, I'm gonna get everything moved out of the way, get everything pressure washed, get it ready to reassemble. Yep. That old push pop broom, wherever it's at over there, that'll wear you out in this heat. But got everything out of the way. I've got drains in my floors. They stay stopped up, if you can imagine why, but they're very handy. And that's what I was gonna say. Anti-seize definitely works, because I don't know how long this lift's been in there, but I probably may not mess with those. But the anti-seize lasted long enough for these bushings to basically be wore out. So they don't really give me a good time reference, but it did work. They're not rusted in there. Some degreaser and get pressure washer. Luckily I live right there, so I got hot water. So get it clean as I can. And I forgot, probably the next thing I'm gonna be working on is the oil pressure sensor, or not oil pressure sensor, crank sensor. I gotta change that, but I gotta work on the oil pressure video, see if we can bump this thing's oil pressure up. But I don't know if you can tell, probably not in video, but that's a messy job. Got crap everywhere, but it actually cleaned up pretty good. I know it's still wet, it's gonna change. I'm sure I missed spots, don't really care. So I'm gonna get the water hose and do one final rinse, get the floor cleaned up and move on. All right, this is absolutely rare. It's 6 o'clock, 5:45. I've actually got time. So at this point, those joints need tightened up. I think I'm gonna paint the springs. The crank sensor, I gotta change it. And then the drive shaft, I gotta do the CV part of it, that double, where's it at? Double part. So I'm not gonna video that since that's not really part of the build, but I'm gonna try to knock that stuff off out. And the rest is just reassembly. I still don't have my dadgum brake pads, Rock Auto, come on. So there's the GoPro recording. There's the brakes they just brought. Where are you at? FedEx. Wow. I think the rest of it should go pretty smooth, and I'm on the fence about buying new tires. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work and then I'll catch you in a second. And bam, that was an 1.5 hour long time lapse, but that drive shaft, I just rebuilt it when I bought the Jeep. That was one of the things when I bought the Jeep. It needed rebuilt. So Spicer 1310X, both them, and then new CV ball. Same thing here. Brand new U-joints, brand new CV ball. So that's good. And brand new axles. I mean, literally, about the drivetrain, anything that's not here is just about brand new. So, like I told you, I think I said this before, I got like mental problems. I can't stop. So I'm just gonna put the thing back together the way it is and just drive it, because I get excited about new builds. So we're just gonna put all this stuff under there, whatever it needs. I know, like, I want to paint, I want to make this look better, and I can't stop. Next thing I know, it's crazy. So let me figure out where I'm going from here. One thing with the springs that come out of it, the pinion was kind of tilted almost up, and I know, like, as you're driving down the road, it's probably flexing. So I kind of wanted to turn it down, So I ordered these shims, whatever wedges you call them, like 2 degrees and then like 6 degrees, okay? So when I went and looked at the old springs, I think they've got the 6 degree bolted to them. All right, well, these are my new springs, and they've got like a 4 degree. So not really sure what's gonna happen there, but I did, like I just got done saying I got a problem. I ordered new U-bolts, and then it's ironically, I was just talking about these. I just tightened them up, but that's for another build I've got going on. I may have already said this, but I got ordered shocks, and they sent me 2 sets of front shocks. I was like, what the heck? So turns out the guy sent me 3 to 4 inch shocks and then 6 to 8 inch shocks. So, or whatever I'm trying to say. So I went ahead and ordered the rear shocks to match both them sets, and I got extra set. Showed you, well, yeah, I showed you the brake pads. That's so ironic. I was just talking about them. They showed up during time lapse. So I'm gonna start on the rear. And now comes the fun part of getting them over there. I wish I had friends. Oh, the one thing I just kind of thought about, Rough Country does their springs. They sell leaf springs, and they go with the 4.5 inch kit. Okay, so if you get the 6.5, all they do is send you shackles, so that way they're only making 1 set of springs. Well, these was on a Jeep right out there with the 4.5, but I actually took them off because it sit, you know, like that. So different story. But I noticed these have 5. The ones outside had 6. But hey, I got a light. I can show you. The 6th one is, I don't even know what the point of it is. It goes from there to there. That's the one I added because it was broke. That's the factory one. So I don't know if they just have a steeper curve or what. But we will see. And if I have to put blocks on it, I'm not going to lose sleep, because like I said, this is not a an off-road rig. It's just a pavement princess. Oh, I'm nervous. I don't think it can fall. I just don't know what's going to happen. That'll work. All right, I got them dropped under there. All I gotta do is let this down carefully. I know the U-bolt's probably gonna shatter, spray paint everywhere, but that's part of it. But maybe one day I can get my wife to quit her job and film, but for now, I hope y'all understand it's just the best I can do, unless I get a kid or somebody just to walk around the camera. But I'm gonna get that one sandwiched up there. For whatever reason back there, the nut on the springs wouldn't clear the plate, so all I'm gonna do is go stick it up in the drill press and make the hole a little bigger. Really don't matter on that part. Progress. Got the rear end into there. Like I said, what was I gonna say? The shocks may be too short. I don't know. I'm gonna work on that. And I cannot forget to put oil in these things. And that's one thing. I don't know, new gears, if you're better off with cheap oil, running 1,000 miles, drain it, and then put good oil. I don't know. I need to post that and figure out. But yeah, I gotta get a rotor tomorrow. Got the pads. Well, let me show you the pads. Absolutely nothing to see here. Carbon fiber brake pad comes with some okay. Some instructions about break-in guides that I don't even need. So yeah, 9:30 or it's 8:30, but I think I'm gonna get pitman arm off, and I'll see. As soon as the camera comes on, I forget everything I'm supposed to say. I'm gonna get a new rotor tomorrow. I'm not pulling a used one off, painting it. And then somehow I forgot that I was supposed to make brake lines. So I've got them to here where the hard line will go, but I don't have the hard line, so nothing to that. I'll get some brake line in the morning, tubing, whatever you call it, and then yeah, I'm gonna make a cool video with this crank sensor. It's still actually got magnets, but I know it's bad. It's almost like I was telling the truth. I went to town, I got some brake line, and luckily I found a rotor they discounted because the box was tore. I don't really know what difference that makes, but anyways, I'm gonna get these brake lines ran. And one thing to always be careful is, you see this open gap right here. Well, bump stop's got to hit here, right there, so you got to dodge it, and then the shock's gonna come, you know, right in there. So got to be tucked right in there close, and up and over across the hoop. And same thing, it's tempting just to run across there, but that's the bump stop. So we'll get them knocked out. Nothing too cool to see here. I'll show you when I'm done. Oh man, what a mess up. Well, there goes that. Oh well. Where's it say it? Can't even read it. Metric thread. I know y'all can't see it. Yeah, wasn't thinking. It's 3/16 line, but it's metric thread, so I had to re-flare every single one of them, and I run out of flare, but I'll get that one later. Not real happy with that. Can't see it, don't care. Gotta get a clamp, but all the brakes are on. Everything's perfect. Actually fits. Clears that. So yeah, good to go. I took the plug out and set it on the ground because I still ain't put oil in there. So I got the arms hung last night. I don't think I showed y'all, but I got them greased. You can tighten them because they're a Heim style joint. And that's what I was going to add is I'm getting new tires. I ordered them. GoPro hears stuff and stops recording. Quits recording. But I pushed the front end forward about 5/8 of an inch. But if I didn't hear that say that, I'm getting new tires. So trying to keep from rubbing that, but get all this stuff worked up. Good to go. Oh, I gotta move that. Dadgummit. Rear end went good, so maybe front end will slide right under there. It's gonna be difficult lining these up by yourself. One person. I figured out. I did a short video on it. You may not see it, but like I told you, I was doing a ZJ pitman arm, and I'm thinking because they use XJ suspension technology, whatever word I'm looking for, that they stuck to all the suspension, but the V8 they had to drop the motor down, so they had to clear. I know the drag link's a little different, but check it out. That's XJ, that's ZJ, and that's what I had. So like I said, if you want a cheap pitman arm, right there is you want TJ. It's like up here. It's dang near straight. And then WJ, completely different. We ain't going there. So like I said, I've raised my, what I'm trying to say, mount up. So I think I can get away with a ZJ and not run that huge drop. And what the drop does, if you can see my hand, it's got way more leverage to twist the frame. Like right here, I mean, use your common sense. If it was right here, it can't really twist. But if you drop it down, you know, now you've got leverage to twist the frame. So I don't know, should tighten up the steering a little bit, but gotta get the hole drilled out. And yeah, got the front end set under there. Luckily it lined up pretty good, but we're going to start all over. There's a scratch. Nah, it'll be all right. Like I said, this Jeep, I just want to drive it. That's all I want to do. So yep. Man, everything was going so good. All the long arm lined up nice and neat, but ran into two problems. Number one is these knuckle braces right here. They're hitting. So I happen to know the guy that owns Iron Man Off-Road Fab, whatever it is. So I sent him a message, see what he said. I'll probably wait till I get a response from him before I go just to hacking cutting, but I don't think they was for coilovers only. That'd be not many people on Dana 30s with coilovers. But second issue, I knew this. I wasn't thinking a 15-inch wheel is not going to like that right there. 15-inch wheel barely is going to hug that, but mine are 15 by 10, so I got my fingers crossed. I may have to notch that. But I knew better than that. I don't know what I was thinking. Like I said, this camera gets me all. So I might see if that thing will run right there. I started, yeah. All right, I can't help but crack a smile. He said, well, he sent me a picture, said just get a grinder clearance. It's just part of custom stuff, part of it. But he said, I enjoy watching all your ridiculous XJ videos. Looks fun as heck. I can say that word, can't I? But yeah. Anyway, get back to it. I'm gonna get a little paint pen, kind of mark where I need to be. And I might try a grinder. I think I'm gonna get a die grinder and whittle it away. And that's what he asked, if the axle's powder coated or not. It's spray paint. Told you a million times, this Jeep's never gonna be that nice. You can see this side was hanging down. I missed there, missed some around there, missed in there. So yeah, I'm not gonna repaint it. I'm just gonna clear coat it. You can't see it, so it won't matter. So that way it won't rust. But I'm gonna get on that and see if we can make them fit. A little more work than I was anticipating, but I actually used a porta band. Cut a bunch of chunk out of that. This side went a little heavy on it, but like I said, put some clear on there, a little scratch there, and y'all will probably be the only people that'll ever even see that. It's like tucked away. Oh yeah, let's keep going. Trying to get this thing done so I can work on that in the morning. Got the shocks bolted on, and that's one thing I forgot. The whole reason I was doing the high pinion is so I can what do you say? They had it like this. I need to relax the front end because you try to get a low pinion tilted forward for the drive shaft, and your knuckles are like this, and it's kind of hard to explain. But when they're laid back, they're like relaxed and they want to stay. So that's what makes one want to go straight and all that kind of stuff, but not gonna get too technical on that. And yeah, hook the brake lines up. Yeah, I get the track bar and all that stuff on. And it sucks. I'll probably have to wait because I'm waiting on my tires, but gotta get the drive shaft put in that too. Oh yeah, if y'all can see, there is metal shavings everywhere from that die grinder, and they are like stuck in my thumbs or stuck in my knees, so gotta get that swept up. Getting so close, so close, so close. Steering bolted up, that's gonna have enough flex. I was kind of concerned about that, but right on the verge. Track bar, do it on the ground, still need gear oil. Still gotta set my toe, gotta have tires for that. Got the drive shaft bolted in, and it's gonna be very close clearing that, and if it don't, I'm gonna about guarantee you're gonna crack a smile how I'm gonna fix it. So, rear end, need one flare right here, and I'll show you when I do it. Bleeding the brakes by yourself, super easy. Don't overcomplicate it. Fill it full of fluid, crack the bleeder. Actually, I'll just show you when I do it, but it's easy. Up, getting there. Oh yeah, still no gear oil on the front end. I'm gonna get some tomorrow, cheap stuff. That's what I decided on. I'm gonna do cheap stuff, bring them in, change the good stuff. Yep, but it's 10:30. Not even gonna lie, I'm tired, I'm going in. Actually, no, I'm not. All right, I don't remember the last scene on this right here. That's been literally weeks. And I promised myself I was gonna go in and do some editing, but I got some new tires. So there's only 3 of them, but that one's like brand new, and I literally just ordered the 3rd one off the internet. So I definitely wanna see how this thing's gonna perform. Come on, light. So I think all I like is bleeding the brakes, getting the steering straightened out to get the tires. And I may not stress the camber. That is the whole reason I'm doing this, until I get the rear end settled where I'm at. I know it's not going to be a huge difference, but I mean, if you think it is going to change it just a fudge. So yeah, I'm going to get to work. Did a short video on this. You may have already seen it, may not, who knows. But I'm putting oil in there, and obviously I feel like that'd be a fill hole. There's one here, I really don't understand why. And then there's a little bitty pipe thread there, so not really sure. But just information that I've gathered over the years is I feel like they want the oil level at the bottom of the pinion seal so it don't just try to leak out. And I've got these pans laying here. This one's a high pinion. You can see it's about mid axle, I guess you'd say. Whereas this one's a low pinion. You know, it's way down here close to the bolt. Whatever that little part is, you can see this one don't have it. That's a low pinion, and that's a high pinion. So just the information I've gathered. I gotta bleed the brakes, and if y'all notice, I pretty much do everything by myself, so I'll show you exactly how I do them. All right, got me some stainless steel AN hose for the vent tube because it was gonna be close to those headers and whatnot, and it looks better. Got my brake lines, got them all made up. Trying to think anything else I'm missing. Oh, this one, I just went till it started running out that plug right there. I feel like it's about pinion level. The front one, I went till it run out, and then I put the plug in, probably put about I don't know, about 1/4 of a quart, whatever that is, 8 ounces, something like that. So now, got all my brakes closed off. I'm gonna leave the rotors bolted up there for now, and I'm gonna drop it down and put some brake fluid in it. But make sure everything's closed off. One of my favorite things about owning the junkyard is getting these random vehicles and getting all the high performance stuff that you didn't pay a dime for. So obviously now I'm gonna fill it up about as high as I can. And you can even get like one of the things goes on a gear oil bottle and just sit the thing upside down, and every time it gets low enough it'll catch air pocket. But just don't want to let it run dry because you got to start over. So I'm gonna fill it up, and then we'll start at each wheel. I'm gonna open them up. I'll probably do all of them at the same time, and then as soon as you see fluid, you close them off, and then you'll pump them up. Since everything's new, so there'll be a gap, so you let fluid run out, and then as you pump them up, you know, if there's air stuck here, it'll push it and then it'll catch it. So when you open the bleeders up, the air should be there at the top, and that's usually all you have to do. Just got to do it in all 4 corners. Waiting on them to bleed down. That is one thing I forgot, is do not ever, on a used master cylinder, do not ever push it all the way down to the floor. There's, you know, it's only cycled like this much its whole life because it's don't need to go any farther. But if you go ahead and go farther, there's trash down here and it'll get in between the seals. I have seen that, or I wouldn't be sharing it because I know it's messed with me. Oh, and the proportioning valve. Forums say it's different. I'm not saying it's different, but I'm saying I've never had to change them. So we'll do that another video. I'll take them apart, see how much fluid they move and all that stuff. So come on, fluid, get in a hurry. I wasn't able to catch it on video. It was kind of a long, boring process, but now, well, like I said, just leave the bleeders open until you see fluid, and then just cap them off. Come up here, pump them up the best you can, and get them to where they're the best they are now. Should be able to go around all four corners, and I'll show this part, and I'll just show you. Usually, you can just listen, and you can hear the brakes starting to go together. Of course, these are brand new, so they're gonna be perfectly quiet. Make me a liar. Maybe I can catch this on camera. Should see bubbles, hopefully. Oop, there went a bubble. Usually you can hold your finger like that. There went another bubble. There they are. So this should get them all out. If not, you can get a bungee cord or grab a friend or somebody and do them the old school way. Man, so close, so close. I think we're gonna get lucky though. I think I'm gonna be able to just cut the steel right there, and maybe, I think the bolt's gonna clear. So wasn't wanting to put in this Jeep on 20s, but that's the next option. I'm not doing wheel spacers. I ain't doing it. Man, it's so close. The wheel's actually bolted on, and you can see, I mean, man, it's so close. I could probably just grind the head of the bolt off, but it's gonna knock the weights off. So I might have the option to go to stick-on weights, but this is another little trick I do, is I take a rotor and I'll cut the face of it off right there, get it cleaned up, and a little less than a 1/4 inch spacer. So I know somebody's gonna scream hub centric. Those wheels come universal, and they're actually hubbed for, I believe, Ford vehicles. So they're actually too big, and lug nuts do all the centric. Oh, let me get that cut off there. So it actually don't take as long as you think if you got one of them Matabos. Some things are wicked. But I actually don't even think you got to clean up that right there, that little lip. I think, and may be wrong. No, it actually, I'm gonna clean it up, be safe. I think it's hanging out there, but there ain't no real way to tell, so I am gonna clean it up. Then you just slide it on. You got, well, hell, you still got hub right there, so it really don't even matter. Man, it's so close, so close. It actually spins now, but if you can see the weights, they just barely contact. So I'm gonna grind that off there, and what sucks is I'll stick the camera back there, but I don't even think I can run stick-on weight, so may just have to have shaky wheels. We'll figure it out though. All right, as bad as I wanted to, I went ahead and I wanted to sit on the ground, see what it looks like, but went ahead and raised it up. I'm gonna set the toe, get it corrected, and got lucky on this. When I bolted it down, it pulled the steel down to the cast, so it's still close, but let me turn your light on. It's right there. Whew. So may need to hammer them weights down a little bit, but I think it's gonna be all right. Worst case, it knocks the weight off. So let me get the toe set. Well, it's closer than I was expecting, but I don't know if I'm satisfied or not. It's not that bad. I don't know if you're watching the slow-mo. Those shocks may be too short for this lift, and that's crazy to even say that, but let's see. Pull a tape measure. So let's go off the bottom of the pinch seal. We're 29.5. Here, 31. So yeah, it's pretty significant. I know I did a short video the other day, but everybody don't see them. But if you look, the front fender flare is raised up higher than the back one. So if you just look at tire gap, you think it's way off. But if you measure like the body, it's not as off as you think. But I'm gonna drive it, obviously, but probably gonna end up about, I don't know, maybe about a 3/4 inch block in the rear. Oh, the drive line. That looks good. That's about straight on. That looks pretty dang good. I don't know about the caster camber. Yeah, you can still see it's rolled forward. I don't know if it's gonna hit the exhaust though. That's one thing I was worried about. So let me get all this buttoned up. Steering wheel, one little trick. I know I've taught you before, but get the goal is for the pitman arm to be straight. So get the pitman arm straight and then match it with the wheels, you know, finesse it in. Man, it already looks so much cleaner under there. One small dilemma is the drag length, I guess you call it. I don't know if it's WJ spacer, I don't know, but it's too short. So I'm gonna have a crooked steering wheel because I don't want to be put off in a ditch because the time joint fell out. But I'm gonna see if they make longer ones. I may just have to extend the thing. Let me get everything squared away and we'll see if it drives. I'm so curious if the brakes are any better. They've got like a break-in procedure, but I don't know if I'll even, I guess I will. It rides and drives better. I can't hardly tell the gears, which I'm on my back roads, but seem to have a little bit of a steering input. So I may look into over the axle track bar, because my other WJ, that thing had like 0 input on from the steering. But I ain't really done much with the brakes. I'll get back with you on there. I was just making sure it drive before I take off to town in it. Well, it looks like in the near future we'll be learning about proportionate valves, because the front, they're sliding the tires in my driveway. Don't seem to be getting any feedback out of the rear one. So listening to the front. So front ones are definitely working, and gotta get that front end rolled back, kind of get this front end settled out. But I think that's it for this one. Appreciate you watching. You know, maybe soon I'll be able to afford to get on more viewer specific builds. Like these are strictly for my personal use. So either way, thank you very much.